Welcome back to
Yeah,
the Conversations and
yeah,
Colons podcast. I'm your
yeah,
host, Damien, with my co
yeah,
host, Jared.
yeah, saw, bruh.
And we are finally at the point where it is time to talk about Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. I keep trying to say Last Jedi. When I made my review on YouTube, which, if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe, go watch that video. I kept saying Last Jedi instead of Rise of Skywalker. Or
For
Roz.
chisel.
Rose. I don't know. So this is spoiler talk. So if you have not seen Star Wars yet, fuck out of here. And then
Yeah, pussy.
yeah, and then come back. Once you've seen it, but until then you're a pussy. Go see the fucking movie. So the way this is gonna work, I'm gonna explain my full thoughts, and Jared's not gonna respond, and then Jared's gonna explain his full thoughts, and I will not respond, and then once we're both done, we'll respond to each other. So to go over spoilers or to go over things I liked, really. Um, so first thing I liked, I do like Rey's arc in this movie. I think The Last Jedi didn't have a story to tell for her character, and when going into this movie, I was really worried that they were just going to make her super powerful and just no character to her. And I will say this movie doesn't do that. It's nice. She actually has a story to tell, and there's a story for her. It might be a little rushed, and obviously the story kind of feels tacked on. And I don't think this was the original plan that J.J. Abrams had in Episode 7, but whatever. Um, Obviously, Chewie and C-3PO and R2-D2, they're great. I like the planets. I think Poe is a good character in this. The problem with Finn, well, actually, I'll talk about Finn later, my problems. Um, Once again, it looks stunning. Star Wars has always looked stunning, but this movie looked fucking incredible. I think the action scenes are well designed, and I do have a few problems with those. I do like that there's more lightsaber combat action, a ton more than The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi had zero saber on saber combat, and this one actually has it. And I do gotta say it's choreographed pretty well. And the once you get about an hour and a half in, I think the movie really picks up and gets a good pace going on. And I think from that point on, that movie's just terrific. It is thrilling. I was interested in the story the whole time, and uh, so when it comes to the good things, that's kind of the main things. There's little things. I think Leia had a good story to tell, and I don't really agree with how she died, but we'll talk about that later. And Luke showing up, and kind of all the past Jedi showing up. When it comes to Rey asking for help, you heard Anakin, Obi-Wan, Yoda, and many more.
It listed it in the end credits, and I was very surprised to see a few of the names because I didn't recognize the voices at the
Yep.
time.
And then I really like the dynamic of Palpatine being Rey's grandfather. Now, if you watch a YouTube channel called Star Wars Theory, this has been his theory for a while now, and it was a theory I actually liked. And I'm glad it came through this way. The fact that she is from Sith heritage, and he kind of made her in a sense. Now, the problem is, I don't think they explained the parents well enough. But to go past that, I think it's cool that all the Sith were inside Palpatine, inside his force. Kind of like a Venom. He kept saying we in that final battle. And overall, I think the force powers that they introduced were cool. A lot of them are from like comics, and there's a lot you have to accept with this movie. There's a lot. So now to go into like the kind of meh category, I think Finn's character really doesn't shine in this movie. Obviously, The Last Jedi kind of cut off his arc. I think it would have been a better arc if in Force Awakens, you see Shiny Bitch, I forget her name. They fight and he gets his ass kicked. And in Last Jedi, they kind of come to a standstill. And then in Rise of Skywalker, he defeats her. That's a good story arc for Finn. He's overcoming that fear of Captain Phasma or Shiny Bitch. And I do got to say, there is a lot of plot holes in this. There's a question Finn's asking the whole time that really doesn't get answered. There's a lot of things overall, like, they were kind of making fun of Star Wars fans, but Poe does a few things. Like he repairs a ship, he takes control of a speeder, and Finn kept asking, how are you doing that? And I feel like that was J.J. Abrams kind of reflecting on what we say about Rey. How are you doing that? How can you do that? So I feel like that was a reflection of us in a sense. I think the first half of the movie uh, is kind of meh. I don't think the whole MacGuffin kind of storyline, looking a MacGuffin's when you're looking for something to find something. It just seemed kind of plain to me, and I think Kylo's transition back into the light side was a little forced. In the sense of in the Last Jedi, he seemed set as a Sith, and then Palpatine kind of shows up, and I get what they were trying to tell, but I don't accept it enough, and I don't think it was that well produced in that sense. I wanted more of kind of more explanation, and I do got to say another thing I liked. They brought back from the Last Jedi the Rey and Kylo talking to each other and being able to manipulate things in the different realms. There's a really cool scene where Kylo is fighting the Knights of Ren by himself, and Rey drops the lightsaber behind his back, and then he pulls it out and fucks some bitches up. And there's just different things like that. So I actually really do like that. I feel like Poe's love interest or previous love interest wasn't handled that well. And I think Princess Leia's death, she kind of went, well, she actually did go out the same exact way Luke went out, and I don't feel like that's how the character should have went out. I don't know the right way for them to go out. I just don't agree with that way. And then the end of the movie is kind of weird. So she buries two lightsabers, obviously burying the Skywalker lightsabers and kind of their heritage, right? So now nobody's going to use that or those two lightsabers. And then Rey has a lightsaber that's yellow. That's cool, but I, I, I don't think it was a definitive end because she says I am a Skywalker, and then it kind of ends. She has a lightsaber. It's going to continue. I feel like in another good 10 years, Disney's going to come out with Episode 10. I don't feel like this is the end, but it was a solid ending overall. They really did kind of patch things up, and whether Palpatine was forced or not, I still liked him being in the movie. I liked that he was Snoke. And I like that he was controlling everything, so that Palpatine is the big villain overall for all three trilogies. So that's very nice. Bad. I don't think there was anything bad. There was going to be some bad. So there's a scene. Well, actually, I do have one bad. I don't like that Star Wars is not committing to people dying. There is many of scenes. So C-3PO loses his memory, and he was supposed to forget everything. And I was okay with that. I would prefer C-3PO to just kind of exit, and him not being able to be turned back on. I feel like that's a good way to end his character. But he comes back and he gets his memory back. So that whole arc and that whole, I guess, consequence of him telling him where to go, that's just gone. I think Chewie, they fake you out with his death. It would have been so interesting, the dynamic of Rey killing Chewie and her having to deal with it the whole time. I feel like that would have made the ending a little bit more powerful because she exuberated dark side tendencies right there by using Force lightning, and she caused deaths to many people. So I feel like that would have impacted the ending more when she didn't I guess the initial time she didn't kill Palpatine before Kylo showed up. There's many other ones. I feel like Finn should have died. There's not a conclusive I guess arc for his character. I think he should have died in The Last Jedi because that would have finished his arc. But now he just feels kind of tacked on. I think their trio, their friendships, it just doesn't work for me. It's not a Han, Luke, and Leia. It's just not as well, I guess, made. It's not very well thought out. So that is kind of annoying, and I think
I don't think you're just racist.
I think their dynamic doesn't really work as much for me in that regard. I do like that she goes back to, I'm blanking, but the island where Luke dies, and you do see Luke as a Force ghost. And I'm glad that he came back, and when Mark Hamill smiled, well, when Luke smiled when he was bringing up his X-Wing, I feel like that was Mark Hamill smiling, saying, my character has been redeemed somewhat in this movie. It's kind of paid off. Now, all the actors that come out recently said they disagree with The Last Jedi, which, I mean, if you don't, what the fuck? But I'm glad that they gave Luke something more to do. There is a bit of hypocrisy though, or hypocrisy, sorry. Uh, so there's a scene where Rey throws the lightsaber into Kylo's burning ship, and Luke comes out with it, and he goes, "You need to treat this with more respect." But
That's no way to treat.
yeah,
Yeah.
but the previous movie, he almost threw it off a ledge.
Well, the thing is although The Last Jedi was fucking garbage, he did learn that, he was wrong. And so that's why that was powerful, is because she was about to make the same mistake and he was like, "Come on, don't follow my footsteps. Clearly I made a lot of mistakes."
Yeah, it just still didn't work for me in that sense.
I mean,
It came
that's
off
okay.
as hypocritical.
I've been wrong this entire time.
But I gotta say, I was going into this movie expecting nothing, and I feel like that really helped the movie. The reviews came out on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't think you should go by Rotten Tomatoes, but it got like a 56% or whatever by the critics, and they were saying it's a lot of fan pandering and stuff like that. And I'm okay with that. Oh, also another good thing, real quick. Rose Tico, one of the worst characters in Star Wars ever from The Last Jedi. She wasn't a big deal in this movie, and thank God, because her character was garbage. But I was really shocked by this. I gave the movie a 9.0 out of 10 in my review. I said it is the best sequel trilogy movie. So out of 7, 8, 9, this is definitely, I think, the best one. And I just think this movie is the most Star Wars of the previous two. And I'm just overall, I was amazed at the end. And obviously, it's not a perfect movie, but I think it's a really good Star Wars movie. I wish J.J. Abrams directed all three and not just two of the three. I feel like it would have been a better cohesive story. But even then, fucking great ending. I'm happy and definitely something I'll go see again. So, Jared, what about you? Jared? No.
Um, I was massively disappointed.
Okay.
So let me just start by saying, if I had to put it into majority wins, I would say I did like the movie. No, I loved the movie. There was a lot of it that was really good, but I cannot say without feeling guilty or without feeling that I'm lying to myself that this whole entire movie was a good movie. This whole entire movie to me would have been a bad movie. Better than Last Jedi, to be sure, but not better than Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so to explain what I mean, I would say that there are a lot of scenes, a lot of different parts of this movie of Rise of Skywalker that were fucking phenomenal. I mean, absolutely amazing. Made me super happy. Loved it. Like, oh, perfect Star Wars to me. But then there were scenes that were like, why the fuck is this a part of the movie? Or like shots of certain scenes where I'm like, why did that happen? Why is this in the movie? This is just disappointing. This is just fucking stupid. This is appealing to people who aren't even Star Wars fans. Like, this is just stupid. And the way I kind of described it, because some other people were talking to me about it, uh 75 or 80% of the movie I think was great,
Uh-huh.
but the other 20-25% that wasn't was so bad or so mediocre in a way that it just kind of ruined the whole effect for me.
Mm-hmm.
um some of the examples that I gave uh to some of these other people I talked to, like this, I'm saying other people, like my girlfriend, when we saw it, she was like, "What do you think?" Or my dad was like, "Well, how was it?" Or a couple of my buddies, uh, like the ending was just atrocious. It was so bad. It left so many questions left, like so many plot lines that are not going to be fulfilled, and I hate that, because now it's going to be, we'll either wait 10 years like you said, or we're gonna have to go, and I don't have anything wrong with this next thing I'm gonna say, but we'd have to go get books and read about what's gonna happen. Like, why couldn't they have just, instead of doing what they did with this movie, why couldn't they focus on one aspect or split into a two-parter, which I would have hated to be a two-parter, but if I'd have had more plot lines like finished and more things like more questions answered, I would have liked that a lot more, like more lore, more detail because Disney fucking redid the entire Star Wars canon. So a lot of things that I could have based some stuff off of is now gone. Like the Star Wars Legends, it's all bullshit. So I'm learning a whole new Star Wars canon, and it feels like they've given us a lot of information, but just like like dipping your dick in the pussy, but only like the first inch of your fucking 12-inch cock. Like you only get to see a little bit of what it's like. So I don't know anything else. I don't get to feel the full effect of the Star Wars lore. And that's what I don't like about how they ended it. Because if I'm being honest, when everything ends and they meet back on whatever I don't even know if they gave a name of the planet where the rebel base or the resistance base was on. Did they give a name for that planet? The jungle place?
I believe so. Yeah.
I don't remember if they did, but they're all meeting back there and they're all hugging and they're all happy. I was like, oh, cool, it's about to end. And then it fucking cuts to her on Tatooine, which I was like, okay, cool. Like she's gonna get off the ship on Tatooine and be like, well, Star War over. And I'd be like, all right, cool. Kind of started on Tatooine, kind of ended on Tatooine. Whatever. I guess I'm kind of okay with this, like in a way. But then I realized I was like, oh my God, like this is specifically trying to be this is where the Skywalkers started. This is where the Skywalkers ended. Like I didn't really care for that. I'm kind of okay with the fact that the Skywalkers were started on Tatooine, they're ending on Tatooine, whatever, blah blah blah. Sabers are being buried there, cool. But like, what the fuck did any of it mean? Like, why did she just go to Tatooine, throw the lightsabers in the sand, and stand there while the twin suns were setting? And some person's like, oh, there's not been anybody here in a really long time, but I happen to walk by this one time that somebody's here. And what's your name, kiddo? Oh, Ray. Cool. Ray what? Well, and looks off into the distance, and this bitch is like, hey, I'm talking to you. Why are you ignoring me? Excuse, ma'am, what? I asked your name. And he goes, oh, it's Ray Skywalker. No, it's not. You fucking lying slut. It's Ray Palpatine. All right. And I get that he's a bad person. You don't want to say it, but you're not a Skywalker. Like an honorary Skywalker, I guess. But like that whole ending sequence was just fucking gay. All right. And then going back to the Palpatine fight, the whole
Whoa, whoa,
Palpatine.
whoa! You can't
No.
say fucking gay. It's
Yes, I
fucking
can.
not straight.
Okay.
Continue.
Fucking atrocious.
Okay.
Going back to the whole Palpatine thing, I liked that she was engaging Palpatine. I was like, dude, let's see her dual wielding these fucking sabers, taking him on with his two red lightsabers or his Sith lightning. And then that shit didn't happen. I liked that Ben Swolo Skywalker, in whatever the fuck his name is, came in, and then they did that thing where they see each other and she like handed him his lightsaber or the lightsaber. I thought that was fucking cool. That was like the one cool thing about that. Then we go to the part where, Palpatine just fucking sucks the force out of these fucking homos. Like, what are you doing? They're Jedi's or they're like you can't. What's going on? Like, I get that he's powerful, but why is it so that they can't resist? Why can't they do anything against it? Like, why is this just some unblockable attack in like fucking Mortal Kombat? Like, what's happening? And then they just lay there, and then everyone's getting their ass kicked, and it's like, okay, so Palpatine's gonna win, cool, and then fucking Kylo Ren, Ben Solo stands up, and it's like, oh, they're gonna fight. No, Skywalker's gone. No more Skywalkers. Cool. And then Palpatine's winning.
Uh-huh.
And then Ray gets up. It's like, oh, Ray's gonna fight. And then like they have the little scuffle, and then the lightning. It's like, oh, the lightning, Palpatine wins. Oh no, it's over. Bad guys win. And then it goes back again. It's like, oh, now there's going to be the good guys. And then Palpatine's like, you can't stop me. And you can see Rey's kind of having trouble with the one lightsaber. But then, oh my God, it's two lightsabers. And then it goes back to being the good guy's going to win. Oh, and then she just fucking like melts him with his own lightning. And then it's like, oh, cool, Rey won. It's over. Yay. And everyone's celebrating and shit. And then they save Finn and the other stormtrooper lady off the fucking Star Destroyer. And then Ray's like, you know what? It's time for a perma nap. And she just fucking falls over. Okay. Oh, sorry. Holding lightsabers was really hard for you, you lazy bitch. And then fucking Ben Swallow crawls up and he's like, oh, I survived. My swollenness helped me climb out of hole. And he walks over and he's like, oh no, my arch enemy for so long who I just started liking. Oh, what do I have? And then he fucking heals her, which is, cliche since she did that to him earlier. And then she's like, oh, you saved me. But she's actually saying, she just looks at him and they fucking kiss, which I mean, okay, I guess. I thought they said something about them being related earlier, but I mean, it's whatever. I guess that was just a fucking plot hole. And then he's like, heh, that was pretty, and dead. Fucking what? Why? Oh, only enough force left in them for fucking one. You can't have split it two ways. Okay, cool. Ben Swallow dies, and then we got fucking Ray there, like, oh, he disappeared. Oh no. And then she gets in her X-wing and fucking flies off. And end of that. Okay, cool. So we went from bad guys to good guys to bad guys to good guys to bad guys to good guys, and then good guys fighting over he gets to survive, and then it's just fucking over. Like that was fucking stupid. The fact that they went back and forth so many times was just, it was infuriating. I was sitting there, and the first time I'm like, ooh, and the second time I was like, ooh, and then the third time I'm like, oh, and then the fourth time I'm like, oh, and then the fifth time I'm like, just fucking, can we just lose already? Like, just fucking end it. And like, oh my god, and then the whole fleet of people coming in. Poe Dameron's like, oh no, I'm sorry, my friends. I guess I'm just a piece of shit general. And then you just hear Lando like, well, that's the thing, Poe. Pieces of shit come in multiple turds, and he fucking flies one with a whole bunch of people. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, I liked that part. I was like, oh, this feels like Avengers. Like, oh, is this Avengers Endgame in space? What's going on? Look at all the Avengers in space, guys. Fucking Guardians of the goddamn galaxy far, far away. And it pissed me off because for a second, I was like, oh my god, they're gonna end the Star Wars Skywalker saga with Palpatine saying "fuck you, Sith win." I was like, that'd be cool as fuck. That'd be so fucking cool if the bad guys won for once. There's like, you know what? You're not powerful enough. You're a bunch of fake fucking Jedi. And Palpatine's like, boom, lightning, everyone dies. Hey, guess what, Ray? Boom, fuck you. I'm a fucking Sith Lord again. Yeah, that'd have been fucking awesome. But no, we have to go back and forth a million times, and then the oh, good guys win. Oh, and then it's the whole like Lando's like, you know what they say, Poe, friendship makes the fucking dream work or some stupid shit. So Poe and fucking Finn become magical good generals because they're best friends. Fuck you. That's gay. You're stupid. Fucking, and also the fact that they left Leia's body there for like 4 days. Yeah, Leia dies. Leave her under the blanket. It's not gonna smell or anything. That dead bitch. Like, are you fucking kidding me? What is it? I get it's Star Wars. What do you do? Fill her fucking body with anti fucking rot juice? Like this? It's stupid. There's so many things that happened. I was just so pissed off about. Now, I got to stop myself here because I'm just gonna keep going. I will say the fight scenes, like during the whole end, was cool. I liked the way the lightsabers looked when she was blocking the lightning. I was just pissed off that that's what was happening. All the fighting in space, it was cool. I liked the big fleet. That was cool. I was really shocked that the fleet came in so early in the movie, but it's whatever. Um, a lot of the middle stuff in the movie was like the best parts of the movie. Like when we meet Poe's like fucking love interest bitch. That I mean, he's like, "Can I kiss you?" And she's like, "No." It's like, oh, okay. It's like, what the fuck is she there for? Make it a man then, you fucking assholes. Oh no, but women lives matter or some stupid other fucking social justice warrior bullshit in 2019. So it's just a bunch of crap. And I mean, she was a cool character. Don't get me wrong. I thought it was pretty neat. But on that planet, that was kind of cool. And then C3PO, like you said, that was a little bit disappointing that he came back. I will say though, it was logical that he came back because R2D2 fucking restocks his memory banks. It's R2D2, of course he does. It's R2. He's smart enough to do that.
But it gets rid of the consequence.
Yeah, it does. Who fucking cares? No, the consequence is 3PO bitching and moaning the whole time. That's a consequence. Well, it's against my programming. All right, just fucking wipe your programming and then we'll just have R2 reboot you. Boom, done. Plain and simple. And it's all sad because 3PO is a dramatic little bitch. He's over dramatic. Of course he is. That's the point of that. That's the entire point. Is C3PO is just so dramatic and just whiny and just talks all the fucking time. That's why that happened. It was the cliche from the fucking original trilogy. That's why they did it. And everyone's like, oh, well, C3PO just should have stayed dead. Oh, Chewbacca shouldn't have stayed alive. Oh, why didn't R2 get cut in half by Kylo Ren? Like, shut the fuck up. Like, people are allowed to survive. They killed enough people off. I mean, fucking Luke died early. Luke shouldn't have died in Last Jedi. Luke should have been around for this last movie. Han Solo, I mean, I kind of get it. Didn't really have to die in that one. Could have killed him in Last Jedi. And fucking Leia, I mean, she died IRL, so I kind of get that they cut her out, but I think Leia should have died in the first one. She shouldn't have made it this fucking far. And Lando's cool. I don't have a problem with him. I liked his scenes for the most part, except for the last one at the end where the fucking stormtrooper lady was like, "Oh, where are you from, General?" And then I didn't even hear what he said. He just went, "How about you, kid?" And she's like, "Oh, I don't really know." And he just fucking grins at her like, "I'm gonna smash tonight. Let's go find out, baby." Like, okay, Lando, you old horny fuck. It was just, so much. And like, let me just restate. 75% of that movie I thought was fucking amazing, but just a few of the really bad parts made me go, fuck this movie. Fuck it. Oh, that's pretty much it. I
So
guess my overall rating, since you gave it a 9.0 out of 10, my final rating was a 6.8 out of 10.
Jesus Christ.
I was sitting here like, you know what? When I left the movie theater, I was like, I'm probably being a little bit nice about this. I'm sure Damien's gonna give it like a 5 or some shit. And when I asked you before this, and you're like, oh, I fucking loved it. I'm like, oh, you're joking, right? And you're like, no, man, it was fucking great. I'm like, oh no, am I wrong? I'm like, Damien's supposed to be the one that hates all these movies. I'm supposed to just love random shit. What's happening? And so I give it a 6.8. That's a number I decided last night. I thought about today. And I thought about it before we started. I'm like 6.8 feels fair because I can't do 6 nice. I have to be 6.8. Like I just can't, without a guilty conscience, say that movie deserves a number higher than 7 because the fucking critical plot points blew nuts. Like it was just so fucking, they ended it horribly. They at this point with how they ended this movie, they might as well just do 3 more like this year and be like, oh, here we are tying up all the plot points that some people care about. I know all the basic bitch Star Wars fans don't give a shit, but some of the real Star Wars fans are gonna be a little mad. Like I don't know. That's my final thing. Most of the things you said, Damien, I mostly agreed with, except for the fact that you thought the ending was, quote unquote, a good ending. Like, fuck you. This shit sucked my ass.
well, I'll
Like,
explain why in a second.
I thought Force. I'm sorry. I thought The Last Jedi was like a decent movie. And like it was like just a decent movie straight through. I was going into this and I'm like, oh no. There's just a few things at the beginning. I'm like, oh, I have a bad feeling about this. Like Lando said. Uh, and then it was like, you know what? Looking back, Last Jedi is still, of course, the worst fucking movie out of these 3. Like, oh my god, Last Jedi was just fucking blew my balls off like so bad. But Rise of Skywalker, it was like they took Force Awakens and they took Last Jedi and just mashed it together, and it just happened to be that most of the good parts ended up on the outside of the shithole, or on the outside of the fucking polished turd of what you can call that movie. I don't know. I don't know how else to say it other than the movie was great for the most part, like 75%, like I said, but then to that 25% was like, hey, guess what? Fuck you.
Well, I think then you should give it a 7.5 if 75% was good.
Fuck that. No, it doesn't deserve anything higher than a 7 because of the critical plot points, which weigh more, like, I don't know, fucking compared to Electoral College or some stupid bullshit. It doesn't. I'll tell you what. It can have a 7.2. I feel like a 7.2 is a fair one,
Okay.
but nothing higher. It doesn't
So
deserve anything higher than that.
So let me. One big point that I want to point out is
Okay.
when after the dust settles and Ray is dead, and
Mm-hmm.
Ben comes up and he heals her. You got to remember earlier in the movie, Ray set this up when she
Yeah.
was healing.
When she killed him.
Yeah, she said when you force heal, you give your force to them, so you're
Yeah, you
always
give a
giving.
little bit of your
Yeah,
force to
but you
them.
got to remember she was dead, and
Yeah.
Palpatine previously just sucked a lot of force out of them. So he gave up all his force and became one with the force to bring her back because he felt like
No, no,
she
no.
deserved to be alive.
I completely get that. No, no, no. I am 100% on board with that. I 100% get that. That's totally logical. Makes sense to me. My point is, she should not have just fallen over and died.
Well, I mean,
No reason. There's other than making money off this movie and for fucking dramatic effect, no reason she should have fallen over dead. Name another Jedi that dealt with any other fucking Sith or any other fight, had taken no physical damage, just a little bit of force, and she didn't take any lightsaber hits, no lightning hits. She just did fucking Palpatine did a fucking Dementor from fucking Harry Potter to her for like a split second, and she just fucking died. I'm sorry, but that doesn't make sense. Like it wasn't like he was shocking her, and even though she had the lightsaber up, the lightning was crackling past it and fucking electrocuting her. I mean, think about it. Luke got electrocuted. He was
mhm.
fine. Fucking Darth Vader electrocuted. I mean, he died, but like it wasn't stupid. He took other damage other than that. It didn't make sense. That is why it's bullshit. Because
Well,
she should not have fallen over dead unless they give me a fucking full autopsy report to why she died. It's bullshit.
Well, I think the reason why she died is one, he literally just sucked a ton of force out of her. So
But not all of it.
you gotta remember, this is the most powerful Palpatine we've ever seen. So
Okay.
in Episode 6, when Luke was getting shocked, that's
Yeah.
not Palpatine that is in this movie. This Palpatine literally shot electricity up in the sky and took down a bunch of ships. So
Okay. But he didn't have that power until he stole it.
yeah, so he's
So,
more powerful. So Rey
but
had
that
to use
but
all
that
her
power that
power
he
that she had left to fight off her force or his force lightning. And when it went back
she
onto him,
wasn't using the force. She fucking held a sword in front of her and it
but
absorbed
you
it all.
no, but you Jared, you still have to use your energy to
No.
block that lightning. If she let go, she's dead. So she used all her energy up blocking that and eventually destroying Palpatine, so she fell over and died. I get what you're saying, but there is a reasoning for her dying. It might not be a super solid one, but there is a reasoning for it.
Well, that's a problem. Is I want a super solid
Okay.
reasoning. That's what I want. And you know what? The only thing I would say that would somewhat make me change my mind on this is if she, and there was no evidence of it, but if she either did her own lightning, and that's what reversed the flow of his, or if she used what little power she had left to to use her force to blow the lightning back. But there's no evidence of it, so that's why I think it's bullshit.
And to the point of the ending with Rey on Tatooine, I think there is a ton of symbolism there when she
Oh yeah.
buries the lightsabers. Okay,
No, there's symbolism there,
so
but it's fucking
what
stupid.
the way I interpret it as is when she buries the lightsabers, Leia's and Luke's. Oh yeah, by the way, Leia got fully trained. Well, she was almost done being fully trained to be able to use a lightsaber and all her force powers, whatever. That to me spoke as she's burying these lightsabers to end the lineage of those lightsabers because
Mhm.
every time those lightsabers have entered somebody's hand, they've almost one converted to the dark side, and then the other two struggled with the dark side, right?
Mhm.
My AVG just came up. That's nice. So with her bearing that and bearing Leia's, that gives a conclusive story, not just to the story, but to those lightsabers. Those mean so much. Those have touched everyone and have meant so much to the actual story. Um, and I think when she says I'm Rey Skywalker, I think what if they were to continue, and obviously the Jedi's are over and the Sith are over. If they were to continue this saga, if Episode 10 came out, I don't think they call them Jedi anymore. I think they call them something like Skywalkers. Everyone's a Skywalker, not a Jedi anymore. You're a Skywalker, and they use different things. Sometimes they might use dark force powers for certain things. It just depends. Self healing is kind of a dark side power in a sense, but I think the main point you said
Didn't want his baby Yoda to use it.
when it comes to uh, Palpatine sucking their force out, you got to remember there's a guy named Darth Nihilus out there who used to go
Mhm.
planet to planet, who was also the Lord of Hunger, who used to go planet to planet and sucking life force out of people. And you got to remember he's not canon anymore. But I was gonna say he is in Palpatine, so that kind of justifies that of him taking the power and gaining that power. Um, so I think the ending's justified. It's not the best ending they could have ever done, but I do think it's a great and good ending to the Skywalker saga. And I think with the point of her looking at Leia and Luke's ghost, I think she then realized that she's had parents this whole time in them. Um, and obviously, I think Leia being more closer to her and being kind of her mother figure, the fact that Leia still trained her, even though Leia knew she was a Palpatine, because
Mm.
she saw the good in her. And I do got to say, they finally went back to the good and dark side. The prequels and even the original trilogy, it was all about dark versus light. And I feel like episode
Mm.
7 and 8 lost that. And this one finally brings it back. Like, you can turn to the dark side super easy, and it's a constant fight you're doing. It's always ongoing battle. Um, so, yeah, I personally, like, if I had to rank, which I'm going to make a YouTube video out of it, so I'm not going to give my full ranking. But The Rise of Skywalker is a top 5 Star Wars movie for me.
Like out of 9.
Well, out of 11, Rogue One, Solo included.
Oh, I wouldn't count those.
Um, but yeah, I was just super happy with this. Obviously, you're disappointed, and I think your point with people dying, I just feel certain characters, the way they tease it and bring them back is just
Wait, what?
it. you said, a lot of people sometimes they don't need to die. Sometimes people need to survive.
I
Um,
didn't say that.
yes, you did.
No, I didn't say they need to survive. I said that no, no, no. I was saying that I don't think it makes sense for people to complain about the certain ones dying. Like when with Chewbacca and with 3PO, like there was a logic behind it. In the Chewbacca one, you saw a second dropship. And with 3PO, like he says R2 has his memory bank. So those are logical things. That's why I don't like when people are complaining about it. I didn't say that they
Well,
deserve to
but see,
survive. There was a logical reason for them to survive.
it ruins one of my big flaws with the movie is it ruins the impactfulness of, like, first off with Chewie dying, that impacts the movie a
Mm.
ton. And because then Rey's sitting there freaking out that she killed Chewie by using a Sith power, dark side power, and I feel like that was an interesting dynamic until you fucking learn Chewie's back alive. And
I will say you're right because they revealed the fact that Chewie was still alive way too quick. It was literally the next scene. They should have gave it like 20, 30 minutes, a few scenes before like learning.
now
So continue.
C3PO, like, it's whatever. I honestly really don't care about that one. If he's back, he's back. But I just I think with this movie they didn't conclude enough with certain characters, but overall I think they included or they ended enough storylines for me personally to feel satisfied and fulfilled.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say one more thing.
Yeah,
I being okay, Chewie being like my favorite Star Wars character, like I was when I saw the whole thing happen where he died, I was like, I immediately said he's not dead. I didn't break a sweat, nothing. I'm like, he is not dead. I know he's not dead because there's scenes in trailers that you see. Like I'm like, this is bullshit. Like they didn't even have to put that in the movie. That scene meant nothing to me because just from one or two trailers, I knew that he was in later. Specifically, the one where he's in a cockpit with Lando
yeah,
uh flying the Falcon. Just from that, and knowing that we hadn't even or had we met? Yeah, we'd
yeah,
seen Lando at that
yeah,
point, but they hadn't touched the Falcon yet. Just one simple little fact. I knew so that was a useless scene in the movie. They could have switched that out with anything. Faking Chewie's death, fucking stupid. It was a dumb scene. That's so it is a flaw, but not for the reason I think you think it is.
uh-huh.
Um, I just think it was just a dumb scene. Anyway, him being my favorite put aside.
Yeah,
We're not thinking about that right now. Him being alive for the end of this saga, I like and I think makes sense because he is the only one, well, one of the only ones, like I said, left alive. Luke, Han, Leia, all dead, and he was one of those four. You kind of had to have that one person who's been a long time life friends with these guys, like not aside from Lando, because when Leia died in this movie, because we know she was going to, it was super impactful because both Poe and Finn were like, oh man, because like they obviously were close with her and it means a lot, but they both turn like immediately Finn's like, oh, Chewie, and Chewie just falls like one of those absolute heartbreaking moments. That was a good reason to have him around, even if it was just for that. That is one of the good reasons to have him around because you kind of need a character like well not need but it's nice to have a character like that to kind of bounce off the important
well,
deaths
no, for
instead of
sure.
these new characters
If they
because
didn't tease his
R2 and
death though,
3PO
it would have been fine.
exactly exactly and that's why I mean like it logically him surviving not like in the Star War like not us as viewers but in the Star War logically him surviving was because there were two drop ships there you
Yeah,
see it in the
no,
movie
I know, I get
but
that.
from our standpoint like our point of view you clearly just from a fucking trailer we know he's alive and I don't know if that's a mistake on Disney's part a mistake on because they had to they're fucking retarded maybe Kathleen Kennedy I don't know just someone's mistake like they didn't even have to have that in the movie they could have cut that scene put another better scene in or just cut it out completely I don't know something like that it just seemed silly I mean it was nice to see the dark side powers from Rey but like they could have been like oh don't worry Chewie's not on that one because he was on the other one or Finn could be like no, it's probably fine. It's probably fine. He's not on that one or something. You could have twisted it some way,
Mm-hmm.
but instead it was just immediately like, yep, now he's fucking dead. We're idiots. We killed him. What do we do? But then it's immediately he's alive. Like, it was a shitty little thing
I
that
will
happened.
say, when he got his medal finally, I was so giddy. I was like, "Fuck yeah!" You know, at the end, he got his medal.
Yeah,
I was so happy about that.
he he got one.
No, not in the original trilogy. He didn't get a medal at the end.
I thought he had one, but he was just too tall, so he held it.
Nope, he never got one.
Oh,
So he finally got his medal.
maybe
Um,
I might be thinking of the Lego Star Wars game that he gets one.
so there was at a certain point where I almost like was like, I I I was gonna give this movie more flack. At a
Mm,
certain point, it's when Chewie's in the dropship. Well, he's in another dropship, but they're fighting over a dropship. And
mhm.
as soon as I saw Ray walk up and she just reached her hand out and started like pulling it down with the force, I was like, "You got to be fucking kidding me!"
Oh yeah,
I was like,
I thought it for a split second. Same thing. I was like, you fucking
"This
bitch.
isn't the Force Unleashed."
Yeah.
I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like even though she's been training for how I think this movie's 2 years later after Episode 8.
Oh, it's a fuckload of time. There's
Um,
apparently there's a book that explains a lot from
yeah.
between both movies, which I should have read, but I didn't.
Yeah, so I understand she's been training, but she's obviously been having a hard time with it, considering what happened at the beginning of the movie. But then when Kylo came out and like he started doing it, I was like, okay, at least now they're finally equal.
Yeah.
So it was fine with me because in Episode 7, she didn't have any training with a lightsaber and she bested Kylo. In Episode
Hmm.
8, you know, it was presumed that she was more powerful. But in this movie, I'm glad they just equaled the playing field. They were both the
Yeah. It was.
same. It was so nice to see Kylo fuck shit up. And honestly, I think Kylo's the best character out of this trilogy. Um,
No,
yeah,
no, no, no,
I think he's the best character out of all the new
no.
characters.
Oh,
He's the best character out of the trilogy. I think he's a better character than Rey. He has a more interesting arc. This
he
movie,
was a good character, but not best.
who's better?
Ray or Poe?
Well,
BB-8.
Ray doesn't have an interesting story arc in 8. And BB-8 doesn't have an arc. Poe
Yeah,
barely has an arc.
I just.
Like character wise and story
I
wise,
mean,
he
I
is the
guess
best.
in the way you're talking, yeah, I guess he would have it, but overall, I wouldn't give it to him. He's too much of a he's too whiny of a bitch
I will
in the
gotta
first
say, I was
movie.
so glad they finally gave a use for his side sabers that pop out. When he was fighting Ray on the water planet, I forget what they called it. There's this.
Endor.
Was it Endor?
That was Endor.
Oh
They
shit!
literally,
Yeah,
yeah.
sorry. You see Ray slide the lightsaber down, and his fucking side hinges stop it. Where if he didn't have those, he might have lost some fingies and
Hmm.
lost the battle. So I'm finally glad they gave a reason for those being there. And obviously, fucking Harrison Ford showing back up for this movie.
Yeah, that was nice.
It was so nice. So I brought the scene up for a specific reason. Um, so I had a stupid ass kid next to me.
Hmm.
Stupid. So what I'm about to say is not racist at all. Okay. When I
Which means it
say
is.
when I say the whitest family walked into the theater, I mean the whitest family. That typical family. Okay. So I'm sitting in the middle, right? And the dad comes up and he's wearing an ugly Star Wars Christmas sweater. Whatever,
Mm.
right? It's okay. You know, it's Star Wars. I don't care. First day. It's whatever. I don't care. And then an 8-year-old comes behind him in Chewbacca onesies. And I was like, okay, that, whatever. And then the wife comes and, she has a bob haircut. She's a typical Karen. Okay. She looked like a Karen. And she has
Mhm.
blankets and shit. And, she's yelling at her kids for doing shit. Then a 14-year-old comes in. Well, he looked like he was 14. And he's carrying a lightsaber and he's constantly fucking turning it on and off. And I was like, that's fucking annoying. It's dark in here. And then a 16-year-old comes in and he was somewhat normal. And then I'm guessing the oldest came in with his girlfriend. So there was the dad, the mom, the smallest kid, the middle teenager, the 16-year-old, the oldest, and then his girlfriend. So 7 people. So uh, it was 3 sat in the front, the rest sat next to me. Okay, so when they first started sitting down, the oldest and the girlfriend got up and left, right? And the
I wonder
16-year-old,
why.
yeah, the 16-year-old was acting like a complete bitch. He was standing up next to me and he was complaining to his brother saying, "Why do I have to sit next to a stranger? I feel like I'm left alone here. I want to sit in the middle." And I'm sitting there looking at him like he's a fucking child. So he looks at his
That's
brother.
right. You have to remember what you look like.
Well, my beard's gone. No, but like his main point was he kept saying, I feel like I'm alone. I feel like I'm watching this movie by myself, which makes no fucking sense. Somebody's right next to you. So he looks at his brother and goes, get up. I want that seat. His brother goes, no, I'm sitting here. I sat here first. It's a seat. Who cares? So this fucking 16-year-old is standing in the middle of the aisle and he goes, Mom, 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 he's not getting up from his seat. And the mom turns around like a fucking typical Karen. Honey, what's wrong? Why are you getting mad about this? Why can't you two stop fighting? And I'm sitting there like, I swear to God, I swear to God, I will storm out of here and get my money back and get a different
Or
theater.
just tell them to fuck off.
So they're doing their thing, and the brother's like, I'm not moving out of this seat. Sit down. Like, I'm not moving. And this is the fucking kid with the lightsaber. He's actually talking sense, which
The 14-year-old?
yeah, which we'll talk about later because he'll start talking some rubbish in just a minute. So finally, the kid's like, you know what? Fine, whatever. So he then decides to sit. So he was sitting next to me. Remember, there was 4 people next to me, so they're line of 4. He then goes to the other end. And he goes, "This is my seat." So then the oldest comes back and he sits down, and then his girlfriend's sitting next to me. Okay, his girlfriend's fucking ugly, so there's no point to that, right? And so I'm sitting there, and as the movie's going, I can hear his girlfriend talking about it every now and then. It's not annoying to the point like I'm that pissed about it. It's just if I focused on them talking, I could definitely hear it. So anytime like Dio would come up, or one of the droids, she'd go, "Oh, they're cute." And it's like, okay, whatever. The fucking 14-year-old though, Jared. Okay, me and you know obviously a lot about Star Wars. Okay.
Yeah.
And we've obviously looked into the lore, and there's a lot of things, and especially before Disney bought it, there's a lot of lore to be understood. So
For sure.
I'm not going to give this kid all the flack, all the smoke, but every now and then he would just kind of make a little comment, and I would sit there and analyze it, process it, and just go, "What a fucking idiot." So the scene where Harrison Ford shows back up after, first off, he's like, force healing's not a thing. And so I immediately started thinking, well, it's in the comics. It's still canon for Disney. And The Mandalorian just did it with Baby Yoda. They canonized it there. So it is a thing. And he's like, there's never been a Jedi who's force healed. And I was like, okay.
It's
well,
not common in any way.
Yeah.
But there has been.
Yeah. And also the Sith have force healed. So it is a thing. And then he goes, when Han comes in, he's like, Han can't be a force ghost. He doesn't have the force. And I don't know if Disney decanonized it, but everyone has the force. Some just have it more than others, and some have powers, right? Some are more with the force. But everyone...
The force is in everyone.
Yeah, the force is with it. Everyone has the force. So when he said that, I was like...
Through all living things.
Yeah, I was like, okay, dude, like, you're a fucking idiot. And then, the kid's fucking stupid. So a force ghost in the movies, in the comics and stuff like that, they have this little blue outline around them, right? They're fucking blue. Han didn't have blue around him, so he's not a fucking force ghost, you idiot. Oh, I was so pissed. I got so pissed at him. Stupid kid. You should go to Star Wars school, and you should probably kill yourself. Fuck you.
Oh, for
Don't
sure.
come to a movie and start talking about like shit when you don't. That's the number one thing that pisses me off. Don't say shit isn't there when it's not. And then when at the end, when Rey was pulling, the shit down in the Chewie, fake out death scene.
Yeah.
He goes, "No one's that strong with the Force. No one's ever been that strong with the Force."
Fuck off. Yoda lifted a ship. Fucking.
I was like, I
don't even.
Well, first off, later on in the movie, Luke does it, and he's
Yeah.
a Force ghost, and he made no comment about that. 2, has he seen the prequels with Anakin? Anakin was so fucking... I mean, he never did something like that, but you could tell Anakin's way stronger than Rey. And The Force Unleashed, which isn't canon anymore, but the Force power is still canon. He pulls a whole Star Destroyer down. So there's been people who've done that. Fucking idiot. I hate kids.
Especially Sith are technically more powerful when it comes to using the fourth force because they use their anger and their hate.
Yeah. Yep. So I was immediately like, okay, kid. And
what a fucking asshole.
And I'm so glad he didn't turn on the fucking lightsaber because during the movie, all the previous stuff that I talked about, like when they were yelling about where they were sitting, that was before.
Yeah.
But so he had the Hasbro Black Series FX lightsaber, the $100 one.
Mm-hmm.
And Jared, if he turned it on even, because it was bright, if he turned it on even once, Jared, I was not going to hesitate, get up and fucking snap it over my leg.
Oh my God. I don't blame you.
I would have given him the $100. I would have given him the $100 back, but I don't know if I could have stopped myself.
I would probably give him one chance. Be like, hey man, don't turn that on during the movie. It's kind of rude. And if he, first of all, if he mouthed off to me, I'd be like, shut the fuck up. Or if the Karen turned around, I'd be like, control your little fucking shit stain of a child. But like, yeah, I'd completely get it. I maybe give him one chance, but
no, he doesn't get a chance with his stupid comments. If he turned on, like after he made the comment about Han not being able to be a Force ghost, even though he wasn't, still he said it first. Han can't be a Force ghost. He doesn't have the Force in him.
Well, Kylo literally says you're just a
yeah
or something like that. He says
well,
he said what it fucking was.
So
all the idiots out there wouldn't be like Force ghost, but he's not.
Yeah.
And because Force ghosts are blue, and he was a memory. He said, "There are two things you needed. Fucking done. Boom."
So if the kid turned on the lightsaber like right after that, Jared, I would have snapped. I would have been like done. I would have yelled at him. I would have turned into a Karen. My hair would have turned into a bob cut.
You would have turned into a Karen.
Yeah. So, fuck you, white family that came and did that. Also, I'd like to point out I'm white, so I get to make fun of white people.
That's not how that works.
Yes, it is. You can be racist to your own kind, but apparently not to others. I'm joking. Not really. So yeah, I guess that's our thoughts. Let us know what you think. You can let us know on Twitter. I'll have our Twitters linked down below. You can contact our Twitter for our podcast, which we haven't used in a while, but you can contact us there. You can leave a like on this video if you're listening or if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're listening on SoundCloud, Spotify, whatever, you hit follow, like all the doodah, whatever. Give us your rankings of the Star Wars. Let us know what you think of The Rise of Skywalker. And just where would you like to see Star Wars go next? Obviously, we're going to be getting a lot of
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Well, yeah, obviously we're going to be getting TV shows, but they are talking about making more movies, not in the Skywalker saga, but more spin-offs. So, God,
was it like a Boba Fett movie?
Well, that's canceled. That's Mandalorian now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yep. I'm going to try to watch not try. I'm going to finish every single episode of The Witcher before next week's podcast.
Not try.
So I will, and if Jared finishes it, we will kind of review everything. If Jared,
now that I remember it's out,
yeah. If Jared only finishes halfway, we'll review that half, and then I'll kind of have Jared like mute his mic for a little bit and not listen, and I'll talk about the rest of the half. So yeah, make sure.
It all depends on if I'll be around to watch it because I know work's gonna be crazy. So
yeah.
We'll see.
Oh fuck. Well, this is kind of off the cuff. You're going to see me pull up some shit. We need to announce our movie award nominees.
Didn't we do that already?
No.
Who fucking cares?
Not at all. So I'm going to do it real quick. I'm going to put a black screen over this so people can't see.
Just run through it real quick.
Yeah. So let me go to this. Oh, fuck. Is it not? Oh, shit. It's a fucking it's on
what?
It's on a Google Drive. Hold on. You guys don't see any of this right now. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Do you need me to pull it up?
No, we're good. I got it pulled up now.
Stupid.
I'm gonna cut.
How long?
I'm gonna cut this. This whole part where we're talking.
How long have we been going now?
We're going 54 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, no.
All right, well, I'll say some stuff after the movies then.
Okay. Alrighty. So, our nominees for worst movie of the year are Spider-Man: Far From Home, Charlie's I didn't add that.
I didn't touch it. Whatever this is, I didn't do it. I must have
instinctively put that there.
What is this? Hold on.
Charlie's Angels,
No. What?
worst
These
movie
are
of the year.
movies. Oh, okay.
Gemini Man, It Chapter 2, and Curse of La Llorona. Best action is Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man Far From Home, now Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, Angel Has Fallen, and John Wick Chapter 3. We have best visual effects, Avengers Endgame, Star Wars, Lion King, Ad Astra, and Midway. We have best
Oh yeah.
cinematography. So you have feed in Papa Michael for Ford versus Ferrari, Lawrence
Mm.
Sher for Joker, Robert Richardson for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Jaron Blaschke for The Lighthouse, and Hoyt van Hoytman for Ad Astra. I completely fucked up those names, but it's whatever. Best actress, we have Rebecca Ferguson for Doctor Sleep, Dakota Johnson for Peanut Butter Falcon, Scarlett Johansson for Marriage Story, Jennifer Lopez for Hustlers, just because, and because there was not that many candidates this year, Isabella Moner for Dora. Um, Best actor, we have Tom Hanks for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. You have Joaquin Phoenix for Joker, Brad Pitt for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. We have Leonardo DiCaprio for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. We have Robert Pattinson for The Lighthouse, and we have Willem Dafoe for The Lighthouse. Best director, we got Todd Phillips for Joker, Robert Eggers for The Lighthouse, Quentin Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Martin Scorsese for The Irishman, and Tyler Nielsen and Michael Schwartz for The Peanut Butter Falcon. The most disappointing movie is the nominees for that are It Chapter 2, Spider-Man Far From Good. That was a good one. The Lion King, Dark Phoenix, and Men in Black International. And then we have Best Comic Book Movie, Avengers Endgame, Shazam, Batman Hush, Joker, and Spider-Man Far From Any Chance of Winning. We have Movies of the Year,
Shazam.
The Lighthouse, Parasite, Joker, Peanut Butter Falcon, and Ford versus Ferrari. So those are our nominees for our categories. Go ahead and comment your winners down below who you think should win. I'm not going to listen to you, but comment who you think's gonna or should win or your favorite. Comment your favorite. So yeah, so those are our nominees.
Cool.
Yeah. So once again, guys, so that will be out in 2 weeks, hopefully. Oh, yeah,
Nice,
2 weeks.
For our winners.
Yes, our actual
Yeah.
show.
Good, because I'll have to actually look at the list and see if we have to change any of it.
Oh no, I already picked all the winners, bud. It's all right.
That's not how this works.
No, it's all right.
You don't get to just Hitler it, especially since you're probably wrong for a lot of them.
Well, no. So like I said,
Every
next
chance
week
you can pick Joker, you will, like a fucking hypocrite.
I'm not going to spoil anything, Jared, but you should look at the list.
Fuck that.
So, like I said, next week we'll review The Witcher, and we'll kind of just talk about some random stuff. Yeah. So, thank you guys for watching. Actually, Jared, didn't you have something to say at the end?
Yeah, I was gonna say, just kind of, I don't know, because I feel like we haven't done it in a while. Kind of update you guys on what we've been doing in terms of like what we've been playing, like games and stuff we've been playing, we've done. Because I feel like we haven't talked about it for like 3 weeks now, probably.
Been a lot of movie talk
Maybe.
recently, yeah.
Yeah, I know the last thing that we really talked about was Red Dead and the whole problem I had with the story mode.
Yeah.
And then like us going into the online.
Yeah.
So what if we what's happened with us, Damien? Like we got to think about this. We got back into playing The Forest a little bit because one of our friends got a PC. Well, a couple of our friends got PCs.
Yes.
So we've been kind of changing up our groove because what we were doing was, I don't know if you were still doing it, but I was rotating between Red Dead, Rocket League, and then Call of Duty with you guys.
Yeah. So our friend Cody finally nutted up and got a PC. So I told him the first game we should play is The Forest. It's a game he's been wanting to play. So
yeah, he's talking about it forever.
We have been playing The Forest. I haven't recorded anything. I don't think I'm gonna record anything. I'm just gonna kind of let this be our kind of thing. I might make one video on it or something like that. But yeah, Rocket League's still the big one. I've played Fortnite recently with David, who's been on the podcast. You'll remember him for yelling at me about Spider-Man when he was drunk. But yeah, Fortnite. We played a little bit of Apex Legends again, Call of Duty, and Red Dead obviously. But the main ones being and I've been playing Witcher on the side. But the main ones being kind of Rocket League, Call of Duty, and The Forest and Red Dead. It's just nice to kind of catch up on things since there's not really that big of a game coming out till spring, with stuff
Yeah.
like Last of Us and Cyberpunk and stuff like that.
Well,
Um,
I think we have some DLC coming for um was what the fuck, what was Gears 5 getting DLC soon, or is that Borderlands? I saw got a
I think
small
Borderlands
DLC.
is getting DLC.
Yeah, Borderlands is getting or just got DLC. Technically Red Dead just got DLC.
Yeah. Yep.
um what the fuck else we just
Well, Call of
Star Wars
Duty just got
Battlefront 2.
their. Well, yeah.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
Call of Duty.
fuck. We've been playing a ton of that too.
Yeah, Star
Um,
Wars Battlefront. I've been playing a fuck ton of it. I don't know if you've been playing as much as I have.
no, I actually played about. So Wednesday
Uh-oh.
night when you weren't on, uh, I played 5 hours of that, and
Jesus.
then I went
That's about it. Yeah.
and then I went and watched a movie. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
I did recently as well,
yep.
about as much of that.
So we've been playing a ton of that. I actually might record that. I've been having some issues with it, but I figured it out. So yeah, I actually might have some content of that. That game's still so well supported and still a good game.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's been a lot of
Oh,
movies recently.
Halo Master Chief Collection.
Oh, that came out. I haven't touched it yet, but Jared's been playing
Yeah,
it.
Damien hasn't touched it. I was playing with one of our other friends. I'm only 3 missions into the campaign. I want to finish it, but I'm going really slow because I want to play it with somebody. Specifically, I wanted to play it with Damien, but he's being a fucking whore about it. And by whore, I mean he just won't buy it.
Well, the Steam
So I
Winter
just
Sale just happened, so I'm buying BeamNG.drive.
You are?
Yeah, my
Yeah.
boss told me about it a while ago, and he was telling me all the because he's been playing it, I think, since like alpha, um,
Yeah.
and so he sent me a
That's the
picture of
thing.
it. Like, when did the winter sale start? Wednesday. He sent me a picture of it Wednesday,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Hey, you should buy this." And so I'm actually thinking about it.
Yeah, that's didn't Captain Sparkles played it when it was like brand new in alpha.
Yeah.
He put a
Yep.
video out.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna get it. I'm waiting until Christmas. I'm gonna see if I can't get a like a gift card or something maybe.
Yep.
But yeah, no, that's pretty much all we did. I was gonna say I've been doing a little bit of the Halo Reach multiplayer, and I gotta admit, it feels so fucking good
Oh
getting
yeah.
back into Halo Reach.
Yep.
I saw just a picture, or no, it was like a 2.5 second clip of. I opened up the Xbox app earlier. I was trying to uninstall some games I don't play, and I saw a quick clip of Halo 4, I think, and I was like, I want to play all the Halos. I don't know why. I saw it was just like 2 seconds of a Mantis firing its rockets at a fucking Phantom, and I was like, I want to play all of the Halos right now. So that's something I might have to do as soon as they come out.
Yep.
But no,
Uh,
it's like not much. I mean,
Yeah,
from what we've
not a
been
lot of
doing.
games are coming out. It's been a lot of movies recently. I did post an update for my channel, my YouTube channel, called the December update. I'm
Mhm.
gonna be editing more. Actually, like putting more effort into this now. Well, recently I was just making cuts and minimal,
No, I know.
not minimal effort, but I was putting in not as much effort as I should. So I don't upload on Wednesdays anymore. I upload Mondays and then I upload twice on Friday. That gives me
Mhm.
enough time. I upload the podcast on Friday and then I upload a secondary video after that. But
Yeah.
actually, this week I did upload Wednesday because I forgot to post my Mandalorian review.
Well, it came out Wednesday too.
Well, it came out Tuesday.
Well, okay. Technically, Mandalorian came out Wednesday, but
No,
it
it came
came
out
out.
Monday night into Tuesday.
No, it
Yeah.
didn't. It came out Tuesday night into Wednesday.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did. That was the release date. Unless they fucking changed it last minute. Last week, that's what it was scheduled to do.
I have the thing right here.
Fuck you.
Um,
Fuck yourself.
maybe it was Tuesday. No, it was Tuesday night. Sorry about that.
Tuesday night into Wednesday.
Yeah, sorry
Yeah,
about
motherfucker.
So
About time.
I uploaded that when I got home from work later. Then I uploaded it Thursday. Maybe I did upload it Wednesday. No, I uploaded it Wednesday when I woke up.
I mean, I just saw the notification like this morning about it. So
No, it wasn't definitely today. It was. I think it was.
no, but I'm saying I saw the
Yeah.
notification. I was like, oh, hey,
Uh,
by the way, Vipper posted some videos, and I'm like, cool, some more shit I'm not gonna watch, and just scrolled past it.
That hurts. Yeah, so I am putting more effort into this now. I'll actually be making like cooler edits, and putting out more high quality content.
Did you download Fallout Shelter, by the way?
I've had Fallout Shelter,
No, but did you start playing it again since I told you about it like a week and a half ago?
unfortunately.
Yes, so now we're also playing Fallout Shelter. I don't know
Yeah.
what Damien's been doing, but I've been obsessed with it. playing it on my phone and on my fucking computer.
Yep.
I'm pissed. I had like not 80, like 50 some settlers or dwellers or whatever in my thing
Uh-huh.
on my phone, and it kept like my phone it wouldn't launch the app. So I didn't know what to do. I reset my phone, wouldn't work. I was doing everything I could, and nothing worked. So I uninstalled it, hoping it would save the cloud, and it didn't. So I lost it, and I just restarted. But
So you get for using Android.
I, I use an Apple just
I
like you,
know it's a
dipshit.
joke.
Fucking
Yeah.
asshole.
So I guess for the next few months, because there's nothing really happening movie wise, and video game wise for a while, we'll just be kind of talking about random shit.
Yep.
Maybe more sexy topics like naked women and stuff like that.
Jesus Christ.
Uh,
Maybe Damien will let me actually plan out a couple things like him and I had talked forever ago.
Maybe we'll see.
Because I have a bunch of cool ideas, and you just fucking
I
like.
do.
First of all, if we could do a proper Q&A, like get
I do
other
want to do it.
people to ask
Yeah,
us
I do want to do
questions,
another Q&A.
I think we could do something fun. We could do be like a Google deep dive.
Yeah.
I literally made a list, but you told me to go fuck myself, so I lost it.
We'll make a new list, baby.
Months ago, right after we recorded one of our podcasts, I was playing State of Decay 2, begging Damien to play with me. He was being a bitch about it, and I wrote down somewhere, whether in notes on my phone, on a piece of paper, or somewhere on my computer, I put a list of like a bunch of different topics, and I thought that'd be really fun. And somebody was like, "Well, we'll see," and I'm like, "So that's a no." And you're like, "No, no, 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 we'll see." And I'm fucking bitch.
Yes, that
Fucking,
sounds like me.
yeah, fuck you.
Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you for watching. Remember next week Witcher review, hopefully, and then it's also Christmas. So
Oh
Jared
yeah,
Jared goes out of town, so he might actually not be there for that. So I'll do kind of a quick Witcher review, and then on that next week, before we do our award show, or maybe after, I'll have him give his thoughts on it. But
have a Merry Christmas, guys,
yeah,
because that's gonna be in like 4 or 5 days.
yeah. I guess this is the last time we'll speak to you before Christmas.
Yeah.
So yeah, Merry Christmas. Hopefully you got fucking nothing you wanted, you little cunts.
Jesus
No,
Christ.
hopefully you got everything. Go see
You
Star
get
Wars.
everything. They're not. This is.
I hope you get everything you wanted or you
Yeah.
want.
Come on. Proper tense. Let's go. I know we're not in school, but don't sound like a dumbass.
I'm not getting love and attention, so I'm not getting everything I want. But make sure to go see Star Wars. Let us know what you think. Go watch Witcher. It's fucking phenomenal. And we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
And that's another episode for us, guys. Thank you for listening. Please make sure to comment, subscribe, follow, like, whatever. If you're on SoundCloud, it's follow, like. If you're on Spotify, you just add to your playlist, like, follow, whatever. iTunes, please leave us a review. And on YouTube, please like, comment, and share, and then subscribe to my channel, eventually Jared's channel when that comes out.
And if you guys want to follow us on social media, our Twitter handles will be linked in the description.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening.